Are you a creative person? Do you want to make something more with your creativity, but you always run into the problem of not being able to do it consistently enough? You can only create sort of when the inspiration strikes you, and then you run out of gas and just can't keep it going. Do you feel completely art blocked? And so you can never really build anything solid off of your creativity? Today, I'm going to show you how to create consistently. I'm a mental health coach, and in building my business, I post about a minimum of 150 pieces of short form content per month across all of the platforms that I post them on. I run a newsletter that sends out a weekly newsletter, and I also post a long form video every week on my YouTube channel. So I've really come to understand how to create consistently. And the first sort of piece of that is thinking about your content as a living organism, thinking about your creativity as a living organism. And just like any living organism, in order for it to survive, it can't just output energy. If it is just outputting energy, it's inevitably going to die because it's going to run out of energy and then we'll have to rest. And so in order to create consistently, one of the most important things is that you need to nourish your creativity. And the way that you do this is by finding inspiration, by regularly not only outputting, but ingesting things that inspire you. It's like, imagine if I ran a marathon and then didn't expect to eat and drink afterward, right? It's very important when you run a marathon that you are eating and drinking and nourishing yourself throughout that process. The same thing is true with creativity. There's an amazing book by Amanda Palmer called The Art of Asking. And in this book, she talks about the process of creativity being about collecting, connecting, and sharing. And basically, what that means is that you start by going out and collecting lots of different inputs. So the sort of classic analogy is you think about a writer like going out into the woods and seeing all of the beautiful nature and everything and taking all of that in, and then the writer goes back to their log cabin or whatever and starts taking all of that inspiration and connecting it in a unique, different way than anyone else has ever connected it. And this is how creativity works, where you collect a bunch of input and then you connect it together in a way that is new and transformative. And then finally, you go out and you share that by, posting it, publishing it, whatever it is. So how do you regularly feed yourself creatively? Because when it comes to feeding yourself literally, you can just go to a grocery store and buy groceries. But it's a little bit more complicated when it comes to feeding yourself creatively, because what if you don't have anything that inspires you? I think that one of the big problems that people run into when it comes to feeding themselves creatively is that we have become very lazy, not because we as human beings are lazy, but because social media has spoiled the heck out of us. Every social media has a For You page now where they just feed you content. But the point of that content is not actually to inspire you. It is just to keep you on the platform longer. And there's a big difference between something that inspires you and something that keeps you engaged for longer. In fact, something that inspires you may not keep you on the platform longer at all. Something that inspires you may actually encourage you to leave the platform because you get so excited about the idea that you want to pause the video and go do the thing that you are inspired to do. So I personally don't like to rely on a For You page because I think that it is feeding you the wrong type of food. I think instead what I like to build is what I call a content farm. And essentially what a content farm is you find a group of artists, creators, whatever you want to call them, and that are creating content regularly. And you consume their content intentionally because you know that when you consume their content, it inspires you. So as an example, if I were looking at a platform like YouTube, I would find YouTubers that I really like that regularly inspire me. and I would subscribe to their YouTubes. And then rather than looking at the For You page on the, front page of YouTube or whatever, I would look in my subscriptions and see if any of those creators had published anything recently. And if they had, I would watch their video. And when you do this, and you do it across multiple different platforms, what ends up happening is that you just have a regular supply. It's sort of like your crops are ready to harvest. You have a regular supply of creativity to ingest to help to inspire you. So you might have, a new YouTube video published over here. You might have a new anime published over here. You might have a new article published over here. You might have a new piece of short form content published over here. And through all of these different places, you can get regular nourishment that is actually going to inspire you rather than just keep you on the platform longer. Okay, so you have collected, connected, and shared. You have started feeding your organism. You have built a content farm in order to help to regularly feed yourself, to have a sustainable way to feed yourself. Now, the next step is to recycle, recycle, recycle. So many content creators will try to create so much new content that their consumption can't possibly keep up. And I think that the reason for this is because when you are thinking about like, okay, I need to create long form content, I need to create short form content, I need to create articles, I need to post to LinkedIn, I need to do all these things. And I think that the big thing that people are missing is this idea of recycling content. That when you write a tweet, that can also serve as a Substack post, that can also serve as a LinkedIn post, that can also serve as a post on Facebook. When you make a short form video, that short form video can go up on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, etc. You get the idea. And so, and even further, if I write an article and then I publish that article and the article does well, then I can go and I can make a YouTube video out of that article. And then I can post that YouTube video not only to YouTube, but I can also send that out in my newsletter as a separate thing. And so and I can also take that YouTube video and cut it down into a whole bunch of tiny little short form videos. And just think about that for a second. If you were posting a video a day, which by the way is what I do, I post one short form video per day. But if I only posted one short form video per day to one platform, I would be posting around 30 pieces of content per month. But instead, because I am posting a short form video every day to 5 different platforms, instead I'm posting 150 plus pieces of short form content every single month. This is why recycling content is so powerful. Now, when you start doing this, you may have a lot of creative energy because all of a sudden you're consuming much more than you ever have before, getting lots more inspiration than you ever have before. And so you may be just bursting with creativity. And the thing to be careful about is that you don't spend it all in one place. Because a lot of times what will happen is you get this burst of creativity, you use it all at once, and you just vomit it all out there. And then you're kind of out of juice and you lose your consistency. So instead, you want to spread it out. And you can do this in 2 different ways. Way number 1 is that you can actually restrain your creativity. Even though you feel really inspired and you really want to do something, you can actually hold it back and not do anything with it and have scheduled times that you do your creative work. And by having those scheduled times, it helps to constrain your creativity so that there's that buildup of creativity inside of you. And when you go to create during those scheduled times, it is actually you're super pumped to get into it, and it makes your content even better. The other option is that you can just let it all out, just vomit all that creativity out, do it all at once. And then rather than posting it all at once saying, look, and it's way too much for anyone to be able to consume, instead you spread it out by scheduling it across the different platforms. So for instance, if you were going to record a whole bunch of YouTube videos, you could schedule those YouTube videos 1 per week. Let's say you record 5 YouTube videos in a crazy creative burst. You spread those YouTube videos out, and all of a sudden, you've got over a month of YouTube videos if you're publishing once per week. And finally, I think that even if you're doing all of these things, sometimes you will go to do your creative thing and it just won't be landing. You know, you'll go to record a YouTube video or something and you're just not feeling it. You're just not feeling like creating a YouTube video. And this is where a balanced diet comes into play. So what I mean by this is that I think that only doing one creative thing is sort of like the equivalent of trying to eat the same exact healthy food every single day. Sure, it may be healthy, but eating it every single day, anyone is going to get sick of it. Anyone is going to get sick of eating the same exact thing every single day eventually. And so I think that it's really helpful to allow yourself to have multiple different creative outlets. So I've mentioned a few in terms of, you know, I may create video content, but then I will also write. I also view the work that I do with clients as a creative medium. I feel like I am helping to sort of create with my clients. I'm coming up with concepts with my clients. So I have these different areas that I can go to. When I get sick of one, I can hop to another. What is a cool creative thing that you're working on? Leave it in the comments. So I hope that this helps to overcome your art block. And by the way, if you want to do a quick check-in on your mental health, there's a free 2-minute quiz that'll just give you some quick insights into areas that you might want to focus on. Just go to ostaracoaching.com and check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.